Hello and welcome back to the series that is just totally glitched up, where this time and over the course of several smaller but jam-packed episodes we'll be diving into the GTA series and picking out a few of my more favourite and the more prominent of mishaps and errors that can occur, which are rather funny, intriguing, enjoyable and just plain stupid, and that are, quite frankly, glitched. Some of the more interesting and better glitches that lie in wait amongst GTA San Andreas involve the mighty monster trucks that are not only one of the more destructive vehicles, but they can help produce a series of individual mishaps when used in the following way. To quickly obtain one, then why not enter one of the following on-screen cheat codes for PC, PS2 and Xbox to spawn one. After gathering one up, then simply roll along any road of your choosing, but drive towards the oncoming traffic so that an unsuspecting driver will have to slow down and brake in front of the truck. Once it has, then manoeuvre the monster forward so that one of the enormous wheels rolls up onto the bonnet and settles nicely upon the now damaged vehicle. Then simply hop out and await one of several glitches. If nothing does happen, then leap back into the driver's side, where sometimes the car will just completely vanish, where on other times the car involved will suddenly lunge forward, sinking straight into the ground as if it has been swallowed up by quicksand that instantaneously sets like concrete, leaving the driver with a completely wrecked and useless vehicle and looking rather silly. But the best error you can achieve will see the car, without warning, spring, catapult and soar into the air like a tiddlywink being propelled and then falling to the ground and exploding just after, and sometimes it can be thrown at great distances. After progressing through GTA Vice City until all the bridges have reopened once the storm warning has been lowered, which is not too far into the game, then go gather yourself a helicopter. For this I'm using the VCN Maverick helicopter that can be stolen from the helipad on top of the Vice City News building, established within the business sector of downtown Vice City, northwest on the map. It is also nestling extremely close to the famous Easter egg resting upon the pedestal. Anyway, once the helicopter is in the air, fly south of your position and make a heading to the Spray and Go garage, which is similar to Pay and Spray but isn't marked on the map, but my indicator will guide you there and is located directly behind a car showroom. When you arrive, there are two things you can do. One, you can try and fly the helicopter into the garage, or if you don't want to damage and risk destroying the helicopter and having to start all over again, then why not hop out and push it in, which is what I always do. When it's inside, hop back in the Maverick, where the garage door will lower to activate Spray and Go's custom. Though rather receiving a new paint colour and engine, for some strange reason our helicopter has been given a set of wheels. Yeah, nice. Wheels on a helicopter. They are completely and sadly useless, as it would have been quite fun to drive around in a helicopter, but still, it's very funny to see. Oh, and please note, this won't work on the PC, as sadly it's been rectified, but the PS2 version works perfectly. In the far southwest portion of GTA San Andreas lays Flint County, home to Flint Range, Baco Beyond, Los Santos Inlet, Easter Tunnel, Beacon Hill and many other places. If you head to this spot indicated, then position your vehicle facing the sea and drive off, quickly exit the vehicle and swim back towards the cliff face, then manoeuvre to this position as shown, where you'll be able to discover a curious triangle that protrudes out from the cliff face and spans itself slightly into the ocean. Well, now you can enter it, where CJ will plummet to the bottom of the ocean, and instead of being able to float and swim about, you can now explore the seabeds, rivers, inlets, all on foot, and very much reminds me of Super Mario's explorations under the water in Ricco Harbour in Super Mario Sunshine. As soon as Tommy has purchased himself some clothes other than his typical Hawaiian shirt and street attire, then this glitch will work, though not to the full extent on the PC, and I'll show you why in just a second. So firstly, head out in search of a motorbike. I don't think it matters which one you use, but for reference sake I'm taking command of an Angel. Afterwards, make your way over to perhaps the clothes store Raphael's in Ocean Beach, or why not try the clothes symbol resting outside the Leaf Links Golf Club. Once at either, rest the bike slightly to the left of the spinning icon, and so that neither bike nor Tommy are touching it. Next, get off the bike and then quickly jump back on, which should cause the clothing symbol to activate. When the game fades back in from black, Tommy will be sporting his country club attire, though there is a slight problem as Tommy has now been infused with the motorcycle. You can of course just jump off and this will deal with the glitch, but that wouldn't be much fun as now we can ride the bike with Tommy just standing there in the middle of it. However, the PC version you cannot ride the motorbike for some reason, so make sure you try this on the PS2 or Xbox versions. Tommy will also never fall off if you crash or take any damage, that is unless the bike blows up, which is obviously a different story. Immediately when you take control of Claude for the first time during the first scene, Give Me Liberty, you're supposed to drive yourself an 8-ball to a hideout featured in the red light district of Portland Island, the first of 3 islands the game plays out over. Initially, you cannot explore the other 2 islands until you have completed the task known as Last Requests, which unlocks the Portland Tunnel and the Callahan Bridge connecting the central island. However, if you fancy a little adventure from the very beginning, then turn left at the end of the bridge, passing through Chinatown and taking the last right, to which you should be able to obtain an ambulance in Portland View. After hijacking it, drive amongst St. Mark's, Hepburn Heights, and until entering Harwood, where the road will drop down into the entrance of the Portland Tunnel, which is currently being worked upon. Now reverse the ambulance so that the back doors rest up against the blue temporary wall, then exit the vehicle and clamber up onto the bonnet, then the roof, which will cause Claude to now stand between the ceiling and the roof of the ambulance. By jumping or just walking around briefly, Claude should fall down and land upon the roof above the ambulance, allowing us now to jump up onto a ledge to the right and then hop over a small blue wall in front of us. Now we can simply run across the top of the tunnel, which at one point Claude will glitch and fall through the roof, which you should now move over to the left and run along the path that runs parallel to the main tunnel. After a while, Claude will be forced off the path and will end up falling down into a black void, only to be transported and land yourself in Staunton Island, and extremely early. Yes, completely pointless, but rather fun to explore, and if you want to return back to Portland, then simply just lose a life.